Welcome to the Common Ground. My name is Feldon Barner II, and I'm here with James Dixon Sr., and the Lord truly has a word for us, his people, the people of God. Amen. Today we're going to be talking about what is truth. Amen. What is truth? God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Common Ground.
Oh, yes, sir, Brother Feldon. It is such an honor and such a privilege to be here with you.
Amen.
And to have the opportunity to share with others this wonderful, wonderful truth that God has given to us.
Amen.
I'm excited today, and I'm going to jump right in. We want to explore this topic a little bit of what is truth.
Amen.
What is truth? And there's a very interesting conversation that was held between Jesus and a magistrate.
Yes.
And out of that conversation, we discover much about not just their beings, but our beings also.
Amen.
And so we're going to kind of explore that, and it's found in the 18th chapter of John. Mm-hmm. It's just a couple of verses that we want to look at. It's verse 37 and verse 38.
Okay.
If you have time to look at that, that's fine. We won't be long.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1919, a Senator, William Joel Stone, had passed away, and one of his colleagues stated during the services, "I honored him because he was among the few men who dared to speak truth to the people in the presence of the king."
Wow.
And dare to speak truth to the king in the presence of the people. What a declaration to be made. Mm-hmm. He spoke truth to the people in the presence of the king, and he would dare to speak truth to the king in the presence of the people. That means his truth was his truth regardless to whom he was speaking to.
Amen.
In this postmodern culture, we may have lost the ability to discern the truth, and even more importantly, we have lost our desire to speak truth. What is your worldview of truth?
Wow.
Does truth really matter? When does it matter?
Wow.
So the question is, what then is truth? Now, how we answer this question may create a contradiction between the one who spoke the words in John chapter 18, "I am the way, the truth, and the life," was another declaration in John chapter 14. So our conception of truth, of reality, of absolute right, and our perceived reality may be in contradiction.
Okay, then.
In a culture of I'm okay and you're okay, and where is that fine line that distinguishes what is really our reality?
Wow.
One's truth may be based on historical facts. That's what we call objective truth. And then somebody else's truth may be based on feelings or perception, and let's refer to that as subjective truth.
Okay.
So how then do we come and bring this thing together to get an agreement on what is truth? The truth is how one lives and dies, what and who one values and what one believes is dependent on how we answer this question.
Wow. Amen.
What is truth? Before Jesus was handed over to be crucified in John chapter 18, it records this conversation between Pilate, who was in charge, and this Jesus whom had been delivered to him by the chief priest. Let's look at it quickly. Then Pilate said to him, "So you are a king?" Jesus answered, "You say that I'm a king. I was born for that purpose, and I was come to bring truth into this world. Everyone who loves the truth are my followers." That's a transliteration. I've come into the world to demonstrate truth and to bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice.
Amen.
Pilate said to him,
Lord help us.
"What is truth?" Now, as I consider this passage and the fact that Pilate posted this question to the man who said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life," two things occurred to me.
All right now.
First, Pilate's "what is truth" statement is one of the most important questions one can ask. Indeed, I submit that it is life's most important question. Therefore, determining what is truth is the most essential and necessary task of our human existence. Your truth determines, who am I?
Wow.
Why was I born? What is my purpose? What am I doing here? Pilate has no clue that the person standing before him is the truth.
Wow.
The answer to his question is literally staring him in the face. Absolute truth does exist.
Amen.
God is the source of absolute truth, and he reveals his moral ways. That implies that morality is not subjective. Pilate couldn't care less about the truth because the truth to him is whatever he says that it is.
Wow.
Second, when it comes to truth, there are two types of folk in this world. Let's call them Mr. Objective and Mr. Subjective.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Objective believes truth can be and often is separate from what he feels. And since feelings can change or be misleading, there must be an objective standard to determine what is really true. Therefore, Mr. Objective is on a constant search for his objective standards. In contrast, Mr. Subjective believes that truth is based on what he feels. In other words, if he feels that something is true, it's true. Period. Therefore, rather than seeking an objective standard to determine what is truth, he has a subjective standard based on what he feels. That said, unless you understand how problematic this might be for Mr. Subjective, these double standards and all of this conglomeration of feelings and difficulty in determining what might be true, let me offer you two scenarios. First, a physician once told me about a 50-year-old patient who was biologically a man but was living as a woman.
Okay.
At an office visit, the patient requested a mammogram, because this was the standard of care for a woman of this age to avoid breast cancer. However, when the doctor suggested that the patient get a prostate exam, which was standard care for a man of this age to avoid cancer, the patient refused because the patient believed and felt that he was a woman.
Okay.
Moreover, the patient never returned to the physician's office. You see, the physician was emphasizing an objective truth.
Right.
And the patient preferred a subjective truth, even at the risk of death.
Wow.
Secondly, there was a young woman I've known for many years who unfortunately struggles with an eating disorder. Although she is underweight for her height and frame, when she looks in the mirror, she feels significantly overweight.
Okay.
So much so that she often throws up. She'll eat and immediately seek to throw it back up.
Right.
She exercises excessively, even at the risk of her life. Indeed, she rejects the objective truth that her bathroom scale shows her every time she stands on it.
Wow.
The good news is that her physician didn't get her medical degree from the University of Subjective Truth.
Amen.
So when this young woman goes for treatment, she is encouraged to embrace the fact that there is truth separate from what she believes and feels to be true to her.
Wow.
You see, just like Pontius Pilate case, as these two cases illustrate, truth has life and death consequences. Pilate was in such denial of truth until he didn't recognize that truth that was standing in front of him. Isn't it so that we speak so much and spend so much energy trying to be who we are not?
Wow.
Trying to do what we have not been called to do?
Wow.
Until we lose focus on who we really are. We lose focus on our own goals. What we really look like. Who are we as compared to who are you? That is why the question, what is truth, is so relevant today. It demands an answer. It demands the right answer. Our very lives depend on it. Who is your objective truth?
That's the question that we all must answer. Amen. God bless you all. And thank you once again for joining us here at the Common Ground. What is truth?